everyone. This is Jack Wu, your host for Success Edge. Today, I want to talk about how to build your dream company. As I said, dream company, not just a dream team. 23 years ago, I was an individual sales guy. When I started the industry as a sales guy, I didn't know how to sell anything to anyone. With few colleagues in my office, I was willing to learn from them, and eventually, after half year or so, I was able to rise up and became one of the best sales in that office. And years later, I became a top personal salesperson in my company. Very, very quickly, I realized one thing. In order for me to get to the highest level, I have to learn how to develop other salespeople or other leaders to work with me. So I spent and invested a lot of time learning about people skill, how to communicate with people, how to recruit, how to prospect. So years later, fast forward, I was able to build a solid sales agency / office at Rockville, Maryland. And fast forward even further, I was able to build a dream team. Now, for the last 7 to 8 years, from a sales individual to build a pretty solid sales office and eventually got a dream team, for the last 7 years, that was the time I mastered the skill set, how to build a dream company. And today, I want to share with you a few things. So all the entrepreneurs in the world today who's committed to build your own business, your own company, what do you need to think about? And eventually, what do you actually have to do for you to scale your business and able to build a dream company one day? The first question that you need to be asking yourself as a CEO, as an executive, is this: what is the vision of your company? You see, most people, when they start a business, they have absolutely no idea, no vision. They don't even think about what their company would look like one day. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. I'll give you an example. Just like a guy fall in love with a woman on the first time, on the first date, and this guy look at this woman and say, man, you are so beautiful. And, I just know that you're going to be the one for me for the rest of my life. I love you so much. And guess what? They fell in love, right? And they went on a few dates. They fell in love. And boom, they got married. And all of a sudden, they have kids. And now they panic. Now they don't know what to do with the kids. Now they don't know how to raise up a family. Being an entrepreneur, running a company is exactly the same thing. Everybody talk a big game. Everybody say, you know what, I want to build a big company. I want to build a multi-million-dollar company. And you ask them a question, how are you going to do it? What is your dream company look like one day? And most people will stutter. Most people say, I don't know. When you react like that, that means you have no clue what you're doing. See, for me, when I began as a sales agent, I had a dream, I had a vision that one day my dream company would look like this. My dream company will consist a lot of A players. They're independently running their business with alignment. I'm not looking for just a bunch of people always have to ask me for directions and asking me for solutions. Every little thing they have to go through me. Very long time ago, I envisioned that one day my company will have people who independently have the capability, have the talent to run their own business. So what is your dream company look like one day? That's important, because if you don't know, and if you can't even envision what your dream company will look like one day, most likely you're not going to build a dream company. And second question, are you afraid to lose some players or replace some players to get the right one? As you're building your company, you're going to encounter, you're going to recruit, you're going to meet a lot of different people. And one of the biggest problems I've seen in the sales industry, in any kind of business, that I see the executive at the top of the company, they are so intimidated to lose some people, to replace some people, because they get used to somebody already. Or maybe that one person who does a lot of business for them, but they might not be the right quarterback to drive the company, but yet they're so afraid to offend that individual, but they know they're not the right guy or girl to drive the company to the ultimate level. Are you willing to replace or lose some people to get the right one. I had a lot of salespeople in my company, a lot of salespeople, and they were good people, but they were not the right players to drive my company to the ultimate level because all they were focusing on is me. Let me make more money. They were not team player. Their culture is not exactly what I was looking for. And eventually, I had to replace them. Eventually, I have to lose them so I can have the right people come in and endorse the right one. And fast forward now, years later, and it proves one thing: my decision was the right one. Because if I didn't lose some players, if I didn't replace some leaders, my company won't scale. So the question for you is that in the process of building your company, are you willing and are you afraid to lose some players to get the right one? And it all comes down to one word: volume. If you go through numbers, if you're recruiting a lot of people, you as the entrepreneur, you as the CEO, you have to identify very few percentage of your players are A players. You have to be able to identify them, endorse them, build them up. And if you have few of those players in your company will automatically grow and ultimately will scale in the biggest and highest level. The next thing and the next question you need to be asking yourself is this: who do you focus on? All right? Do you focus on everyone? Or do you focus on almost everyone? Or do you focusing on very few? I have met a lot of great leaders, but the problem is that they stay great, they can't get to the magnificent level, all right? Is that they try to help everybody. They try to say yes to everybody. Remember, when you say yes to everybody, you're gonna have no time to focusing on the right thing. If I today say yes to everybody who asks me for help, I would, number one, have no life, and number two, I will have no time to help the right people now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So who do you focus on? Everybody, or almost everybody, or only few? The successful one identify very few. And the next question that you need to be asking yourself is this: whose fault it is when shit hit the fan? If you're one of those person or one of those leader, when things are going wrong and the first thing you start to do is put blame on your employees, on your leaders, on other people, I tell you, you were never able to build a dream company. When shit hit the fan, the first person they're gonna blame is on their own. Oh, you know what? Something went wrong with the human resource department. You know what? Maybe I hired the wrong person to handle that department. Other companies right now are surpassing us. They are doing so well. Their production is, tripling what we do. Maybe we need to focusing on recruiting more salespeople. Successful entrepreneurs, successful executives, they always focusing on what can I do to improve. They don't blame on other people because they know one thing: when at the end of it all, when things are not going right, when the company is falling, it is ultimately because of their leadership. So are you willing to take this responsibility, right? And if you are, then you can build a dream company one day. The next question is the opposite of what I just said. Who is going to take the credit when success comes? You see what I'm saying? How many of you have seen people when things are going wrong, it's never their fault. But when one little thing goes right, they'll be like, it's me. Hey, it's me. All the credits goes to me, right? That's the completely opposite of what I just talked about. And if you are somebody who like to claim credits quickly and take all the credits, you are never going to attract talented people to work for you. You're never going to attract talented A player want to stay with you. So you have to learn. When shit hit the fans, you take the blame. When your business going well, you got to give out those credits when it's due to the right people. So the last thing and the last question you need to be asking yourself is this: are you willing to learn how to handle different personalities in your company? The biggest misconception is for someone to believe and to really think that once you build a company, everybody is going to get along with you. Everybody is going to like you. And I'm here to tell you that's absolutely nonsense. As an executive, as an entrepreneur, your job is to find out what drives your people, what make them tick, what make them not happy? What motivates them? What demotivates them? What get them fired up every single day to wake up and go out there and accomplish their goals? And you gotta also anticipate there's gonna be some people in your organization, their personality is pretty tough, and they're not easy to get along with. And some of them might even be just, pretty small vision type of salespeople in your company. Or some of them could be the biggest visionary, just like you. You have to identify all of them, and you have to learn how to handle every single one of them. Because at the end of everything, they are all part of your company. To build a successful company, to build a dream company, you need every single one of them. The key is learning how to put the right player into the right position. Because putting the wrong players in wrong position, your company is going to eventually slow down and fail. Guys, I hope my message today, I hope some of the stuff that I just covered today gets you to think a little bit differently. Start to understand, to build a successful dream company, it requires you as the executive to understand what human natures are all about. With that being said, I want to see every single one of you at my next episode of Success Edge. Take care. If you like my contents, if you like my messages, if you believe that I'm adding value to your life and business, all you need to do is download my Just Win app and follow all my contents.